All right. So recently, over the last 1 week, there are a couple of people who approached me and asked for my help with regards to processing the name transfer of their used car. And so I just want to take this opportunity to share with you what are the steps involved and what you need to take note of before you engage a third party, most of the time a used car dealer or a runner, to assist you with the name transfer of your used car. And this is talking about in the case whereby you are a private seller dealing with a private buyer. You guys have already agreed the price, you have sent your car for pre-purchase inspection, everything is done deal already. You just need somebody to facilitate the transaction. Now, the first question a lot of people will ask, how much would these services cost? And I'll straight up tell you, if you see anybody, if any dealer quotes you less than 3,500 ringgit for loan or less than 2,500 ringgit for a cash buy, I can tell you that dealer is cheaper than me. And if you think that dealer is trustworthy, I would recommend that you go ahead with their service. So now the whole process of buying and selling a used car, and I'm taking the example if the buyer is using loan. So first thing is, before you do anything, buyer apply for loan with the bank first. And if let's say if you're engaging a used car dealer to facilitate this process, get the process started right here. Use the dealer to help you with the loan application, or you can do it yourself. But if you have decided to use the dealer, use the dealer all the way. Now, so first you start with the loan application. Once the loan is approved, that is when you can pay what we call a lock car deposit, a deposit that you confirm that your intention to buy one, no turning back one. Okay, this is a non-refundable deposit. So what happens is that because loan approved already, okay, so confirm your intention to buy the car, and then the next thing is you can do this in either order, but first you need to get the car inspected by Puspacom. So if it's a cash buy, you only need a B5 inspection, and you can get it done with a mobile unit wherever you want to go. Just pay extra money, that's it. But if the buyer is taking a loan, then you need to do the B5 plus the B7 process. Okay, that incurs additional cost. So Puspacom settled. Now, seller, let's just say that if you have an outstanding loan on the car, the loan must be settled in full first. So you have Puspacom inspection, you have loan settlement. These two processes can be done in either order, but it must be done before JPJ allows you to do what we call the thumbprint process to officially transfer the ownership of your car to the next owner. Now, if you are a Malaysian, you can do it anywhere. Basically, most used car dealers, they have what they call an e-auto system, which they can bring the machine to you and you can do the thumbprint remotely. But if either or both parties are foreigners, non-Malaysians, then you will have to go to a JPJ office, not even a UTC, a full-fledged JPJ office to do the name transfer process in person. Then when it comes to the transfer of money, so Malaysian law or JPJ does not care when the buyer pays the seller. Absolutely does not care. So let's say, for example, in the case of a cash purchase, really is up to buyer and seller to discuss when and how to transact. Okay. Now, if you are already engaging a used car dealer to facilitate the process, and if buyer and seller may have trust issues with each other, then the used car dealer can serve as an intermediary. But then, of course, you have to make sure that the used car dealer can trust, okay, as an intermediary to hold the money, okay, from the buyer. And once everything is satisfactory, release the money to the seller, okay, if it's cash buy. Now, if it's a loan purchase, that is when things get a bit more complex, because the bank requires the buyer to sign a delivery order to confirm that the car is received in good order, and 2 or 3 working days later, the bank will release the money to the seller, in which case most of the time it's a used car dealer. All right, so frankly speaking, if you are buying car with a loan, it's best to get a used car dealer to handle the processing for you. Now, here's the thing, you may be asking, hey, safe or not? What if, let's say, like, buyer take the car already And then after that, right, before bank release the money, buyer call to cancel the loan. Well, what I just learned from a banker recently is that the moment the buyer signs the delivery order and it is submitted to the bank, there is no turning back. The bank must release the money to the designated seller. So there is no turning back. Okay, now of course, there is no stopping the buyer from contesting the purchase at the end of the deal. The buyer can say, hey, this car is not satisfactory and all that. But the buyer will need to go through a court process. What is sure is that the moment the buyer signs the delivery order, the money has to be released to the seller. Okay, so in that sense, you as the seller, you are protected in that sense. Now, is there a danger that the used car dealer will lari with your money? Okay, especially if you're the seller, the used car dealer take the buyer's money and lari. Well, this is where you need to choose a good and reputable used car dealer to work with. And there are plenty of good people in the used car market, but before you engage any dealer to help you with these processes, be sure to do a bit of due diligence on this dealer's track record. See if you have any friends who previously dealt with them before, right? Or go and search their Google reviews. Make sure that these people are trustworthy and that when they receive the money from the buyer, they will release the money to you. Now, then some of you may ask, right, hey, can you, let's say, like, for example, handle the Puspakom yourself, do the JPJ Trump yourself, just use the used car dealer to process the loan for you? You can. You actually can, and it will be cheaper, but it will not be cost effective. The most cost effective option is either you do the whole process A to Z yourself, or you pay the dealer to do everything for you. Well, what happens is that, right, if you do parts of it yourself and you pay the dealer to do parts of it, what happens is that at the end, the amount of time and money that you spend ends up being more than what would it be if you just pay the dealer outright to handle the A to Z for you. Because don't forget, if you have multiple parties handling different aspects of the transaction, what means is that you need to have coordination. Okay, and that is something that you probably don't want to involve yourself in. Okay, so what I would recommend is either you do the whole process yourself or you just let a trusted dealer. You have to ensure that whoever that you work with is somebody that has a good track record, has strong reviews on Google. That's when, okay, this one can trust, okay, because these guys have a reputation to protect, right? So I hope this video is helpful for you. And of course, if you need help to sell your car and you like to get back at least 85 to 90% of your car's market value compared to just trading in where you get a lot less, you can fill in the form in the description section below and my team will be in touch. All right. So that's it for today. Until my next video, take care, stay safe, see you soon.